Hi guys, perhaps somebody can explain this to me because I'm a little bit thick. I don't understand why we don't respond to the US in kind. Now what I mean by that is, when Donald Trump took office and before that, people within his administration, people close to him, were insulting European leaders, insulting Europe, insulting the United Kingdom, insulting British politicians, and insulting the Prime Minister himself. But the response from this side of the pond has been to be, well, let's pander to Donald Trump. Let's treat him with kid gloves. Let's treat him like a man-child. Let's remember the special relationship or remember trade. And the response from the US since then has been, well, just to continue with the insults. So this is Mike Huckabee, who you see on the screen here, and this is a report from the BBC. It says here, US diplomat says UK would have lost World War II with Starmer as leader. The UK would have lost World War II if Sir Keir Starmer had been its leader at the time, the US ambassador to Israel has suggested in an attack on the Prime Minister's response to Israel's Gaza City takeover plan. So this is in response to, well, in relation to a video I did earlier where the Prime Minister of Israel, Netanyahu, is planning to take control of all of Gaza and occupy it seems, until an Arab force can take over. Now, obviously, the international community have condemned this, including the Prime Minister, said this would result in ethnic cleansing, it would increase the death toll there, this is not the way forward. But Mike Huckabee said, in a post on social media, Mike Huckabee wrote, so Israel is expected to surrender to Hamas and feed them even though Israel hostages are being starved. Did UK, I don't know why I didn't say the UK, but did UK surrender to Nazis and drop food to them? If you had been Prime Minister then, the UK would be speaking German, he said. Okay. His comments come after Starmer condemned Israel's plans to take over Gaza City as wrong and urged its government to immediately reconsider its decision to further escalate its offensive. A spokesperson for Number 10 said that they had nothing to add to Starmer's comments. In his post on X on Friday, in which he reposted a statement by Starmer, Huckabee said, ever heard of Dresden, Prime Minister Starmer? So I get back to the main question. How are these people considered allies? Is Mike Huckabee an ally of the United Kingdom? Is Mike Huckabee and the Trump administration an ally of Europe? I said before, when Donald Trump was talking about cutting off aid to Ukraine, when he was talking about exiting NATO, when he was complaining about European nations not spending enough, that was the time to cut ties. Donald Trump is not a reliable partner. Donald Trump seems to be more on the side of Putin than he is on the side of European allies. And here we have a so-called diplomat insulting the UK Prime Minister, suggesting that, well, if he was in charge during World War II, Britain would have ended up speaking German. It's extremely insulting. Once again, this is not some idiot within the Republican Party. This is a US diplomat. This is the ambassador to Israel. Like, he doesn't have the cop on to keep his mouth shut. He's just a little bit about him. He's a fundamentalist Christian who wants to see end times. He wants to see Israel take over most of the Middle East, not because he cares about Israel, not because he cares about Israelis, because he thinks, and this is serious, he actually thinks that this will result in end times. This will result in the second coming of Jesus Christ, who will come down from the sky and gather up people like Mike Huckabee and take them up to heaven and leave everyone else behind. This guy actually believes these things, and he's a diplomat. He's the ambassador to Israel. Now, Netanyahu and his administration think that this guy's on their side. He doesn't care about them. He cares about end times. He's one of these fundamentalist, crazy Christians in the US who want to see a war take place between Israel and its enemies in the Middle East, and it wants to see Israel win so that Jesus can return. Because of prophecies. The sooner Donald Trump is out of office, the better. The sooner sanity is restored in the US, the better. The sooner relations between Europe, the UK and the US improve, the better. These people are insane. Donald Trump has surrounded himself with extremely crazy people who are not interested in diplomacy, who are not interested in the rule of law. They're not interested in humanitarianism. They're interested in achieving their religious goals. If you don't believe me, do a bit of research into Mike Huckabee. You'll be shocked. I don't know how the UK government is supposed to respond to this. Suggesting that if Starmer was Prime Minister, he would roll over for Germany. He would just do their bidding. The ironic thing, of course, is Donald Trump has huge admiration for Nigel Farage. And, can you imagine if Nigel Farage was Prime Minister in the 1940s? Do you think he would have taken a hard line approach to Hitler, or do you think he would have taken a similar approach that he does to Putin? We'll leave that up to speculation. But the US at the moment is not an ally of the UK. They have demonstrated that on a number of occasions. And it was quite sickening to see David Lammy fishing with JD Vance, pandering to these people once again. These people do not care about the UK. They don't care about freedom of expression. They don't care about diplomacy. They don't care about partnerships. They want to extract something. I don't know what it is yet. We may see later on. But they want to extract something from Europe, from the UK. And it seems that the politicians on this side of the pond are asleep at the wheel. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. And I'll see you in the next video.